23. Place the Mutt, Belur. Year 1902. Today is the anniversary celebration of Sri Ramakrishna, the last that Swamiji ever saw. The disciple presented an invocatory hymn on Sri Ramakrishna to Swamiji. He then proceeded to rub Swamiji's feet gently. Before starting to read the poem, Swamiji spoke to him. Do it very gently as the feet have become very tender. After reading the poem, Swamiji said, It is well done. Swamiji's illness had increased so much that the disciple, observing it, felt sore at heart. Understanding his inner feeling, Swamiji said, What are you thinking? This body is born and it will die. If I have been able to instill a few of my ideas into you all, then I shall know that my birth has not been in vain. Disciple, are we fit objects of your mercy? If you bless me without taking my fitness into consideration, then I will consider myself fortunate. Swamiji, always remember that renunciation is the root idea. Unless one is initiated into this idea, not even Brahma and the world gods have the power to attain mukti. Disciple, it is a matter of deep regret that even hearing this from you almost every day, I have not been able to realize it. Swamiji, renunciation must come, but in the fullness of time. Kale natmani vindati. In the fullness of time, one attains to knowledge within himself. When the few samskaras, tendencies of the previous life are spent, then renunciation sprouts up in the heart. After some time, he said, Why should you go outside and see the big concourse of people? Stay with me now, and ask Niranjan to sit at the door, so that nobody may disturb me today. Then the following conversation took place between Swamiji and the disciple. Swamiji, I think that it will be better if from now the anniversary is celebrated in a different way. The celebration should extend to 4 or 5 days instead of 1. On the first day, there may be study and interpretation of scriptures. On the second, discussion on the Vedas and the Vedanta and the solution of the problems in connection with them. On the third day, there may be a question class. The fourth day may be fixed for lectures. On the last day, there will be a festival on the present lines. This will be like the Durga Puja extending over 4 or 5 days. Of course, if the celebration is on the above lines, none but the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna will be able to attend on the other days except the last. But that does not matter. A large promiscuous crowd of people does not mean a great propagation of the message of Sri Ramakrishna. Disciple, Sir, it is a beautiful idea. Next time it will be done according to your wishes. Swamiji, now my son, you all will carry them out. I have no more inclination for these things. Disciple, Sir, this year many Kirtana parties have come. Hearing these words, Swamiji stood up holding the iron bars of the window and looked at the assembled crowd of devotees. After some time, he sat down. Swamiji, you are the actors in the divine Leela play of Sri Ramakrishna. After this, not to speak of ours, people will take your names also. These hymns which you are writing will afterwards be read by people for the acquirement of love and knowledge. Know that the attainment of the knowledge of the Atman is the highest object of life. If you have devotion for the avatars who are the world teachers, that knowledge will manifest of itself in time. Disciple, Sir, shall I attain to such knowledge? Swamiji, by the blessings of Sri Ramakrishna, you shall attain to divine love and knowledge. You will not find much happiness in the worldly life. Disciple, Sir, if you condescend to destroy the weakness of my mind, then only there is hope for me. Swamiji, what fear? When you have chanced to come here, you shall be free. Disciple, with great entreaty, you must save me and lift me from ignorance in this very life. Swamiji, say, who can save anybody? The Guru can only take away some covering veils. When these veils are removed, the Atman shines in its own glory and manifests like the sun. Disciple, then why do we find mention of grace in the scriptures? Swamiji, grace means this. He who has realized the Atman becomes a storehouse of great power. Making him the center, and with a certain radius a circle is formed, and whoever comes within the circle becomes animated with the ideas of that saint. That is, they are overwhelmed by his ideas. Thus, without much religious striving, they inherit the results of his wonderful spirituality. If you call this grace, you may do so. Disciple, Is there no other grace than this? Swamiji, yes, there is. When the Avatara comes, then with him are born liberated persons as helpers in his world play. Only avatars have the power to dispel the darkness of 1,000,000 souls and give them salvation in one life. This is known as grace. Do you understand? Disciple, yes, sir. But what is the way for those who have not been blessed with the sight of him? Swamiji, the way for them is to call on him. Calling on him, many are blessed with his vision, can see him in human form just like ours and obtain his grace. Disciple, have you ever had a vision of Sri Ramakrishna after his passing away? Swamiji, after his leaving the body, I associated for some time with Pavhari Baba of Ghazipur. There was a garden not far distant from his ashrama where I lived. People used to say it was a haunted garden, but as you know, I am a sort of demon myself and have not much fear of ghosts. In the garden, there were many lemon trees which bore numerous fruits. At that time, I was suffering from diarrhea, and there no food could be had except bread. So, to increase the digestive powers, I used to take plenty of lemons. Mixing with Pavhari Baba, I liked him very much, and he also came to love me deeply. One day I thought that I did not learn any art for making this weak body strong, even though I lived with Sri Ramakrishna for so many years. I had heard that Pavhari Baba knew the science of Hatha Yoga, so I thought I would learn the practices of Hatha Yoga from him and through them strengthen the body. You know, I have a dogged resolution, and whatever I set my heart on, I always carry out. On the eve of the day on which I was to take initiation, I was lying on a cot thinking, and just then I saw the form of Sri Ramakrishna standing on my right side, looking steadfastly at me, as if very much grieved. I had dedicated myself to him, and at the thought that I was taking another guru, I was much ashamed and kept looking at him. Thus perhaps 2 or 3 hours passed, but no words escaped from my mouth. Then he disappeared all on a sudden. My mind became upset seeing Sri Ramakrishna that night, so I postponed the idea of initiation from Pavhari Baba for the day. After a day or two again, the idea of initiation from Pavhari Baba arose in the mind. And again in the night there was the appearance of Sri Ramakrishna as on the previous occasion. Thus when for several nights in succession I had the vision of Sri Ramakrishna, I gave up the idea of initiation altogether, thinking that as every time I resolved on it, I was getting such a vision, then no good but harm would come from it. After some time, he addressed the disciples, saying, "Those who have seen Sri Ramakrishna are really blessed. Their family and birth have become purified by it. All of you will also get his vision. The very fact that you have come here shows that you are very near to him. Nobody has been able to understand who came on earth as Sri Ramakrishna. Even his own nearest devotees have got no real clue to it. Only some have got a little inkling of it. All will understand it afterwards." The conversation was thus going on when Swami Niranjanananda knocked at the door. The disciple rose and inquired, "Who has come?" Swami Niranjanananda replied, "Sister Nivedita and some other English ladies." They were admitted into the room, sat on the floor, and inquired about the health of Swamiji. After a few more words, they went away. Then Swamiji said to the disciple, "See how cultured they are. If they were Bengalis, they would have made me talk at least for half an hour, even though they found me unwell. It is about 2:30 now, and there is a great gathering of people outside." Understanding the disciple's mind, Swamiji said, "Just go and have a look round, but come back soon."